Alright guys, it looks like the news just keeps on getting worse for PlayStation and Sony. These guys cannot catch a break, and I'm just enjoying every single minute of it. You know, it's funny because it wasn't that long ago when Xbox decided they were just going to humiliate their own fan base and they were going to give you guys all the reason in the world to just talk shit to Xbox fans when they announced that Halo was coming to the PlayStation 5. And you had that idiot wearing a stupid PlayStation shirt while they were making that announcement. It was like, obviously, these people are just spitting on their own fans, and they just want to humiliate their own fan base. Like, what? Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, well, what the hell else are you trying to accomplish with this? Besides just humiliating your own fan base, right? And so PlayStation fans were celebrating that, and it was short-lived though, because immediately after that we got the sales figures for the Switch 2 up until September, and it showed that, you know, they actually had sold 10 million Switch 2 consoles in just 3 months. You know how much PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 sold in 4 months? Only 7 million. So the Nintendo Switch 2 has just been kicking PlayStation 4's ass, PlayStation 5's ass. It's absolutely dominating them. Even the software sales are really great right now for their first-party games, especially, are very high. And so we've been pretty much dunking on all of the haters and gay station fangirls about it ever since. And then, shortly after that, Grand Theft Auto 6 was delayed. So shortly after all of that news, Rockstar Studios had to announce that, you know, they had to delay Grand Theft Auto 6 yet again, and this time it was being delayed from the summer of 2026, I believe it was May of 2026, all the way to November of 2026. But it didn't just stop there. The news got even worse, because it isn't just, you know, delayed because, you know, they just want to take more time to make sure the game's perfect. No, it was delayed because they had to fire 40 employees, and they fired those 40 employees because apparently those 40 employees were getting really close to unionizing Rockstar. So this was pretty much union busting. They're gonna pretend like it had nothing to do with that, but it was basically union busting. And as a result, there's even another group who is involved in the video game, and it's a group of the voice actors, and they expressed being dissatisfied and disappointed in Rockstar for doing that. And they're actually taking the side of the 40 people who were laid off, the 40, you know, union workers who were laid off by Rockstar in order to, you know, just, you know, pretty much bust a union and whatnot. So because of that, the game's probably going to be in even more trouble with so many people in Rockstar Studios. You know, just, you have all of this internal conflict going on right now, and it's affecting the game. And who knows when that game's even going to come out, you know, with all of this crap going on. And by the way, those 40 workers, they are looking to take legal action against Rockstar over this. So it's going to be really fun to see, but you know what? They had to delay the game yet again, all the way to November. They would be complete idiots. They would be the biggest morons in the world to not put that game on the Nintendo Switch 2 and on PC day and date. They are losing so much money on this game. $1 billion have been put into this game already. $1 billion freaking dollars. They have 1,000 workers or game developers working on the game. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Shows how little talent they really have. They gotta have that many workers, that much money to make a game like Grand Theft Auto 6. You gotta be kidding me. So, yeah, it looks like that game is, you know, that game was supposed to be, the reason this is relevant is because that game was supposed to be like the great hope for the PlayStation 5. You know, that game was, every single, you know, gay station fangirl was like just glazing that game, and oh, we got the marketing rights for it, and the game, it's not coming to PC, it's not coming to Nintendo, it's only coming to PlayStation and Xbox, and Xbox has lost, so yeah, we're gonna sell an extra 100 million consoles and all this other BS or whatever. They really think that people are gonna buy a PlayStation 5. People who hadn't bought a PlayStation 5 already, they're confident that those people are going to buy it just for this one game alone. And you know what? I don't see Nintendo fans buying a PlayStation 5 to buy this game. I don't see Xbox fans, definitely don't see them purchasing a PlayStation 5 for this game. And all of these die-hard PC gamers, they're definitely not going to do it either. So they're really just, overestimating this game and thinking that it's going to move 100 million units or whatever. So, but this game might end up coming to PC and Switch too. With all the money they've lost and all the money they're going to lose, the more they keep delaying it, the more they're having this internal conflict and whatnot. But moving on to that, we are now moving into today's news, which was, I think it was yesterday's news, like last night. Sony has now recorded a $204 million impairment loss related to its acquisition of Bungie because the game Destiny 2 has not met sales and user engagement expectations since the acquisition. Wow, yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, they're just taking L's left and right again. I love whenever there's just like a huge batch of bad news for PlayStation and Gay Station fangirls, and it's just so glorious to see. Like, there's one bad news after another, and it all just happens within the same week or so. So, Bungie, this freaking studio, they acquired this studio for $3 billion. As a matter of fact, $3.6 billion back in 2022. They spent that much money, and it's been nothing but a disappointment. They have not done anything good. I don't really think they've helped Sony make any bit of a profit at all. And I think their reasoning for acquiring this studio is just for like publicity. It was basically, they just did it for headlines. That's all they did it for. See, Xbox was, being stupid, and they were making these giant acquisitions, right? So Xbox was like buying up all these big studios. The Xbox fans, they were happy. They're like, yeah, PlayStation's in trouble now. Look at everything we're buying, right? Only for Xbox to, of course, turn around and, piss all over them and stab them in the back. But they were doing all of that. They were making these big, crazy acquisitions, and PlayStation and Sony were just like, we got to do something because Xbox is making headlines right now. What would be something to acquire that's going to make some really big headlines? Hey, I got it. Let's acquire Bungie, the ones who used to make Halo, which is Xbox's, flagship title. Yeah, that's going to make some headlines. We're going to make that acquisition. We're going to buy Bungie. Hell yeah. And maybe it's going to help us make some live service games. Yeah, Xbox is going to be in real trouble. Well, they made that stupid acquisition to get headlines, right? They were thinking short term like they always do. And now we're all seeing how it's, paying out. Now they're basically paying for Bungie. They're basically just wasting money on Bungie, wasting hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars after they already wasted over $3 billion, close to $4 billion at this point. And yeah, it's just so funny to see. It's so funny to see them lose all this money. They deserve it. They're a trash studio. They're a trash corporation. And, their fans are just the biggest degenerate, woke retards in the world. So, really happy to see this, guys. I think it's funny. I think it's freaking hilarious. That is a lot of money being wasted. Destiny 2, who the hell cares about Destiny, honestly? I've spoke to some people in real life who are like, oh, one of the best games I've been playing lately is Destiny 2. And I even told them, like, yeah, isn't that the game that most Destiny fans trash on and are disappointed with? Yeah, but it's still kind of fun. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's just, Destiny's like, I don't know, it looks like a very generic shooting, sci-fi shooter game. It just kind of looks like Halo, but just more generic somehow, So, yeah, it's just really, it's funny to see all this happen right now. This loss means a lot right now. Let me see what else I could find about this. So let me just read some more information. What this loss means The impairment loss is an accounting term for reduction in the book value of an asset. It signals that the asset is worth less than initially recorded, meaning the value of Bungie as an asset on Sony's books has been reduced. So it has been reduced as an asset. Why it happened, Sony's chief financial officer, Lin Teo, stated that Destiny 2's performance has been below expectations, citing a competitive landscape and lower than anticipated player activity. Impact on Bungie. The financial hit has been accompanied by other issues for Bungie, including significant layoffs in recent years and a shift towards greater integration with PlayStation Studios, which reduces its promised autonomy. Other related costs, Sony also noted an additional $118 million in development cost corrections related to Destiny 2. So there's an additional $118 million in development costs as well. So yeah, that's pretty pathetic, guys. Pretty damn pathetic. Sony's just losing a crap ton with this damn thing. They're not doing well at all. They're not doing well at all. And then, of course, on top of that, to make the news even worse for PlayStation, they had their garbage ass, PlayStation Play or State of Play recently, and basically it was just a Japanese presentation. And it was meant just for the Japanese audience. But get this, it was so freaking bad. Like more than 50% of people were just like, that was actually no, 80% of people trashed on that game. And then another 20% were like, it's okay, it wasn't that bad. I think you had that effeminate girl, Mystic Ryan. He was like, oh, that was definitely necessary. That guy's such a moron. But yeah, this presentation, it was trash. It was a bunch of boring niche games that nobody cares about. And they literally ended the presentation by saying, hey, guess what? The cost of the PlayStation 5 in Japan is going to drop a little bit. And that was it. That was like their biggest final announcement was, look, the price is being reduced just in Japan only in Japan. So it's pretty, it's pretty obvious that they're scared of the Nintendo Switch 2, and they know that the Nintendo Switch 2 is kicking their asses. So they're like, we gotta do something. We gotta beg our Japanese consumers to, come back to us, or to, buy some of our consoles in the holiday. Hey, look, we're lowering the price a little bit, guys. Please buy them. They're getting outsold by the original Switch. The original Nintendo Switch is actually outselling them right now in Japan. So, yeah, they're pretty much they're going down the fucking toilet right now. Let's just say it. Let's just say it that way. They're going down the toilet. They're not doing so well. Halo didn't save them. Grand Theft Auto 5 didn't save the PlayStation 4 from, being passed by the Switch. And Grand Theft Auto 6, well, even when it does eventually come out, 2 years from now, it's not gonna save the PlayStation 5. Anyways, yeah. So, there you go, just more bad news for PlayStation. Even Nintendo's, Super Mario Galaxy Movie Direct actually got it got a far greater positive reception than, PlayStation's State of Play. So, let that sink in. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think about Nintendo just kicking PlayStation's ass and all of this bad news surrounding PlayStation right now? And what do you think about all of the, Gay Station fangirls just getting so angry and, coming on my YouTube channel and crying about it? My last video has gotten so many PlayStation fangirls just up in arms. It's really funny. You guys got to go check out my last video about how Nintendo just straight up bullied PlayStation out of the competition, and that's not like trigger bait, rage bait, or anything like that. If you actually watch and listen to it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Nintendo truly has bullied PlayStation out of making video games. That's why PlayStation just makes cinematic experiences and not real video games. They don't want to compete with Nintendo anymore. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Leave your likes, your comments, subscribe. Even if you don't like the video, and you disagree with everything I said, you can still like the video and you can still subscribe and leave as many comments, because what that's going to do is it's going to really like boost the algorithm, so that way many more people end up seeing this video. So go ahead and do that, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.